This week on the American Crappie Trail,
10:57.
it's the last regular season tournament, and the Angler of the Year race is deadlocked.
But the competition is getting tighter than the points. It makes it exciting.
Truman Reservoir plays host to the top crappie anglers in the nation, but Mother Nature is throwing another curveball.
Look here.
Yes, sir.
It's day one of the American Crappie Trail from Truman Lake, presented by Martin Metal and Rockport Rattler.
Welcome to Truman Reservoir, the last stop here on the American Crappie Trail. I'm here with Matt Morgan, our tournament director and the owner of American Crappie Trail. Matt, we've had a lot of exciting times here on the American Crappie Trail this year. What do you think about Truman?
Sam, I tell you, Truman Lake is a fantastic fishery. It's a place that most of the time you can come catch 100+ fish a day. It's the home of some of the best jig fishermen in the entire country. But again, American Crappie Trail's in town. Sam, you know every place we've been this year, weather has snake bit us bad.
Big time.
Everywhere we've been, we've had some sort of inclement weather. We had 5-6 inches of rain. The water's come up 5 to 6 feet. The anglers are dealing with chocolate milk muddy water. Crappie do not like fresh muddy water. It's going to be a challenge, but I'm going to tell you, the cream of the crop is right here this weekend. And I'm excited because they are phenomenal fishermen. They're going to prove it this weekend, and it's going to take 10+ pounds a day to win.
Caught a lot of fish, had a real good time. We just haven't been able to catch the big pound-and-a-half fish, but we're gonna go out there and have a good day today, catch a lot of fish.
Trying to fish stuff that nobody else has fished. Everybody's hitting the fence rows and stuff out there, and I think we're gonna be close by them and fishing the deeper stuff.
We're fishing on the Grand. We're gonna start there. It's where we spend all of our time. That's where we've caught most of our fish. So.
The last 3 days, it's got better each day. And we have changed our game plan for 3 days in a row. We got them keyed in. We're gonna get them today.
Matt, what do you think is going to be the most productive area on this lake, with this water like it is?
Sam, it's a good question, and I'll tell you, Truman Reservoir has 2 main river arms. One's the Grand side, one's the Osage arm. In the last 3 years, the Grand arm has produced the most consistent winning fish. You catch the majority of the fish on the Grand side. However, the Osage arm, one of those places that you don't catch as many, but what you catch usually has a little bit better quality. With the way the rain come in last week in the northern part of the state, the Grand arm is chocolate mud. We have very few anglers in the field that are fishing the Grand arm. The majority of them are on the Osage side. The question is, are they all piled up together? If they are, they're splitting those fish up. A prediction of mine that I say it's going to be one off the Osage just because of the cleaner water. However, if they're on top of one another, the guy who's over here on this Grand side, you know what'll happen.
Exactly. They'll find those fish bunched up and they'll have them to themselves.
Day one on Truman Reservoir in central Missouri. Over $55,000 is up for grabs this week, but the B&M Angler Team of the Year race is taking center stage. Our leaders, Ronnie Capps and Steve Coleman, have a slim lead over competitors Tim Blackley and Jackie Van Cleve, with Kent Watson and Matthew Outlaw in third. Feeling the pressure, Capps and Coleman put a lot of time in preparing for this tournament.
Day one, man, I tell you, we're just proud that we made it here safe and got in place. We're catching a lot of fish already. We have fished a total of 8 hard 12 to 15 hour days preparing for this tournament. It all come down to one area right here that we have a whole lot of confidence in, comparing it to the entire lake almost that we've been able to cover in 8 days.
Tim Blackley and Jackie Van Cleve are sitting just 9 points out of the lead for Angler Team of the Year. They know the importance of each bite.
You know, if we don't get to catch some fish, we ain't gonna have no money in our jeans.
Yeah, 'cause mine's about empty. We've been here a week.
This lake is known for single pole jigging, and most of it's stuff that people can see. And we found earlier in the week that we caught our bigger fish on stuff that was scattered and stuff that was underwater. When you use our 360 imaging, where we can look out in front of us, we can see brush tops and stumps and stuff that these single polars are not picking these fish off of. And earlier in the week, that's where we were catching our bigger fish. We got 2 tournament grade fish right now. We've caught 50 or 60 fish so far this morning.
In third for the B&M Angler Team of the Year is Kent Watson and Matthew Outlaw. This Lucas Oil sponsored team is on some nice fish today and looking to move up in the ranks. The Mid-State Seed team of Travis Bullock and Philip Haynes are one-poling in Hay Creek on the upper arm of the Grand. Tony Edgar and Travis Lepley are spider rigging in an attempt to target submerged timber that the rest of the field may have overlooked.
That one there will work, maybe. Yeah, that's a better fish there. Look at that. You don't see that very often. That fish ate both baits. It's got the top hook in his mouth. It wasn't coming off. Good. First time all day. And then it's got the other hook in its mouth. So thank you, fish, for doing that for us.
Filling out their limit, Edgar and Lepley turn their attention to finding the big tournament fish they located before the off-limits period.
Right now we got about 7:30.
The team of Brad Calhoun and Larry Holmes are catching them 2 at a time. Fishing is heating up on the American Crappie Trail from Truman Reservoir.
Lucas Oil's Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Outboard Engine Oil will not only produce a level of confidence with each trip to the lake, but also provide trust backed by rigorous testing on the track as well as on the water. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Oil has an extensive additive package that will provide clean burning, smooth running, and maximum performance stability to any outboard on the market today. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Oil will not void your manufacturer's warranty. Protect your investment with Lucas Marine Products.
Lucas Oil, it works.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Clean up your toughest messes super easy, super fast. Only Super Clean is formulated to do the work for you. Just spray it on and watch the grease and grime wash away. Super Clean is the only cleaner degreaser that is scientifically formulated to kick any mess to the curb, so you can move on to more important things. For all of your greasiest, grimiest, toughest tasks around the house, shop, or garage, Super Clean gets the job done. Super Clean, super easy, super fast.
B&M Poles, the #1 crappie pole company in the world. Whether you're jigging, trolling, pulling, or pushing, B&M has your pole. Third-generation family company with over 70 years experience. Home to the Bucks Graphite Jig Poles, the first and best-selling graphite jig pole in the U.S. for over 35 years. B&M Poles, official pole of the American Crappie Trail. The American Crappie Trail is brought to you by Lucas Oil Marine Products. Made in America, sold to the world. By Ranger Boats, driven to dominate. Super clean, super easy, super fast, super clean. By General Tire, anywhere is possible. And by these other proud sponsors. Truman Reservoir, the largest man-made lake in Missouri. The site of stop number 5 on the American Crappie Trail. The weather on day 1 is cool and cloudy, but the fish are still adjusting to what happened a week ago.
We said there's 5-6 inches of rain that came last Saturday evening. The lake has jumped 5 to 6 feet, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, things were changing hour to hour. But as yesterday kind of progressed and we're here on the first day of the tournament, things are pretty stable. You know, we've got some cloud cover today. The one thing that I think is notable is the fact that it's not 100 degrees, the sun's not beating down. The water temperature has cooled dramatically from the last 2 weeks. That water temperature change, in all reality, I think since it's stabilized, I think it's going to fire some of these fish up to eat.
Yep. Keep it. We're in trouble if we gotta weigh this fish.
The Super Clean team of Capps and Coleman are sticking to their game plan. Double minnow rigs have paid off with a solid 7 fish limit so far this morning.
One on one. Dump him in the box back here.
Fishing the upper Grand arm of the lake, Michael Walters and Rick Solomon are keying on suspended fish in 10 feet of water.
Basically, we're trolling areas that the vertical jiggers are not seeing. We're catching a lot of fish off. There's underwater timber down through here. We've been fishing suspended, and it's about 7, 8 foot with the trolling motor sort of down, so we're probably in 10 foot of water right now, but we're suspended anywhere from 4 to 6 foot. We've been calling. Probably our smallest right now is 13. We've just been kind of staying in this shallower water, and the fish seem to be in here feeding on the shad. But I don't think there's any secrets out here. Everything that's visible has been hit several times. I know that boat's been in here pretty much all morning. There was another boat pulled in. They vertical jigged for a little bit. They're not hitting this underwater timber, so we feel pretty confident that we're catching virgin fish.
Mississippi anglers Larry Holmes and Brad Calhoun are starting to figure out a pattern on Truman Lake.
Good fish. Bring them on in here. Yeah. What'd you have out there? Another fish? Hey, that's 134.
American crappie trail anglers are adept at determining what depth to fish their baits, a key component to catching crappie or going home empty-handed.
Crappie are predator fish. If you look at the way God designed them, they look up to feed. Catfish look down and to the side. A lot of your rough fish do, but crappie look up to feed. So they're sitting in 8 feet of water, but they're fishing in the top 4 feet of that water column. And that makes a huge difference. So many times I see people fish under the fish, and they just will not go down to take a bite. And they're fishing the conventional minnow rig, just like we talked about. They got a minnow on the bottom. You got something messing with that one.
As the day progresses, the bite is picking up. On the American Crappie Trail from Truman Reservoir, presented by Martin Metal and Rockport Rattler. Martin Metal, the specialists for your post frame or stud frame structure. Whether your project is agricultural or residential, we are the one-stop shop for your building needs, with the goal to always provide quality products at competitive prices. With great service, Martin Metal is more than metal. We have our own truss plant for your truss needs. Our lumber yard has the highest grade of lumber available in the area, and our window and door options are as diverse as the buildings we supply for. Martin Metal, where our motto has always been, working hard for your success.
put the Rockport Rattler to a real test. 2 champion anglers using 4 rods with the competition jigs against 4 rods using the Rockport Rattler. The result, the Rockport Rattler outfished the competition 10-1.
Rockport Rattler gray head.
This patented rattling jig contains a rattling chamber in the body of the jig. The rattle is amplified by using water as a conductor,
Rockport Rattler,
making fish hear it at much greater distances, just like a dinner bell for fish.
If you don't have a Rockport Rattler, you ain't catching crappie.
Land, water, seed, and sunshine. It's what farmers need to make things grow. At Mid-State Seed, we take pride in our partners and grow friendships too, providing quality seed farmers can count on. From quality control to packaging and shipping, Mid-State Seed works hard to distribute affordable product from America's heartland. Mid-State Seed, firmly planted in partnership.
Lucas Oil's synthetic blend 2-cycle outboard engine oil will not only produce a level of confidence with each trip to the lake, but also provide trust backed by rigorous testing on the track as well as on the water. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-cycle oil has an extensive additive package that will provide clean burning, smooth running, and maximum performance stability to any outboard on the market today. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-cycle oil will not void your manufacturer's warranty. Protect your investment with Lucas Marine Products.
Lucas Oil, it works.
One at a time.
Day 1 of the American Crappie Trail from Truman Lake. Many of the teams arrived in time to start practice Monday morning. After 4 days of practice, they assemble for a meal, a rules and pep talk from the tournament director, and a chance to catch up with old friends.
Hey Tony, you doing all right?
We've been
How
moved into another bay, and
we're killing you, buddy. We're coming up. Well, good luck anyway, man. Been through a lot in 10 years. We've been fishing this thing 10 years.
I remember the first time we saw y'all, I guess we knew y'all for that, but we was in that cove, and we was in the bank, y'all was down that creek, and all we could see was a boat, and it looked like the motor was on fire. There was smoke coming out. Man, what is going on back there?
If you're fishing a spot and me and him pull up, get over it. Because I'm the senior citizen. You boys are young. You respect your senior citizens, so move out of the way.
How's it going?
Good luck.
Bullock and Haynes continue to find success by jigging flooded trees in the upper portion of the Grand Arm.
This is one of our stronger teams. Ronnie Capps and Steve Cohen, they've won about everything there is to win in crappie fishing. You can see that they're using spider rigging technique, but they're doing it a little bit different than the rest of these guys. They've got a bait, a single jig, and a bait. Now, here again, we're sitting in 11 feet of water. They're fishing the upper half of the water column because that's where the fish are suspended. They're fishing over the fish, not under the fish. A lot of the reason is that these fish are up high is because of this cloud cover and a little bit of wind ripple on this water.
We're about to push these baits right up on a big pile of, oh, that's a good one right there, Steve. If it's a pretty good one. Ah, get him.
Crappie fishing is all about structure. Getting hung up in the timber is a hazard of the trade, but with proper prep, downtime can be minimized.
We've been hung up a lot today, as you can imagine if you only knew what was underneath us. We pre-tie with rigs, and I get these little tubes. They're actually what's used on clothes hangers. And Grizzly Jig in Crothersville, Missouri is where I pick these things up. But we've got it pre-rigged. Everything is pre-tied, and we just wrap them on here and keep them in a little Ziploc bag. And so we're ready to go, just that quick, putting on another rig. And so that's basically what we're running. Minnow rig on top, plastic or minnow on the bottom, or just straight minnow. And they're just that easy. You get your tubes, and we put 2 slits across one end, and I put 3 slits on the other, and it holds the hook. And then we just simply wrap it up like this. A lot of people wonder how in the world you keep all this stuff organized. And so you've got to have a room in a boat and keep everything compact as you can.
Good.
Yep. Nope.
We started way up the river, up above a Gallant Emperor Creek called Turkey Creek. We'd caught 4 or 5 big fish in there during pre-fish day, and it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when we caught them, so we were also going to go up Broyles Branch, but there was about 14, 15 boats there, so we decided we'd fish in there. If we got the bite, we'd get it. If we didn't, we was going to load up and come all the way down here to Tally Bend in the middle of Osage, and it paid off for us. We got into one spot there and caught 6 or 7 fish real quick. 5 of them was away fish, and one of them was really a nice one. So, you know, it's just with this water up, we've been fishing, and the water come up 4 or 5 feet. These fish scattered, and they're mainly on main lake points or a fence row that's coming out from the bank. But if you get on the main lake points and find 10 to 20 foot of water, you're going to find fish.
Time is running out on the American Crappie Trail from Truman Reservoir. B&M Poles, the #1 crappie pole company in the world. Whether you're jigging, trolling, pulling, or pushing, B&M has your pole. 3rd generation family company with over 70 years experience. Home to the Bucks Graphite Jig Poles, the first and best selling graphite jig pole in the U.S. for over 35 years. B&M Poles, official pole of the American Crappie Trail.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-cell foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with Evinrude E-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
The outboards that are changing everything. Easy to own and fun to drive. The Evinrude E-Tech G2, now from 150 to 300 horsepower.
And it was just so easy to drive, not having to worry about the trim. I could just gas it and go, and that's where I fell in love with the engine.
I could drive my boat literally with one finger.
In terms of just convenience, easy for me, the G2 is perfect.
I wanted something my wife could drive with ease.
I love my G2.
For details, visit evinrude.com.
From the tackle store to your truck, to your boat on the lake, back to the ramp, and all the way home. Angle Coolers have you covered.
For over 30 years, Lucas Oil has provided the very best products for the land and sea. From this success stems another amazing product from the Lucas Marine lineup, Lucas Slick Mist Marine Speed Wax. Just spray it on and wipe it off. Lucas Marine Speed Wax will make your boat look brand new and provide great UV protection. Apply Lucas Marine Slick Mist to wet and dry surfaces, in sunlight or shade. It's ideal in both fresh and saltwater application and prevents hard water deposits. Protect your investment with Lucas Marine products.
Lucas Oil, it works.
The American Crappie Trail is brought to you by B&M Fishing, quality performance and service for over 70 years. By Mid-State Seed, firmly planted in partnership. Martin Metal, your source for quality buildings, roofing, and lumber. By Evinrude, official engine of the American Crappie Trail. And by these other proud sponsors. Day 1 of the American Crappie Trail from Truman Reservoir in central Missouri.
Dad!
You better be glad you are, man, 'cause he fell off in the net.
Did he?
He's a little better.
This week, over $55,000 in cash and prizes will be paid out. Winning a tournament, or at least cashing a check, can mean a lot to a team.
We talk about the prize money so much. It's not so much the amount of money, but it's expensive to fish all these tournaments. And it's not the entry fee, It's the lodging, the gas. It's, you know, time away from your job. It's all those things. And this money that we're talking about them winning is not going to separate them in a tax category. But what it's going to do, it's going to allow them to fish more tournaments and practice more. That's what they're all wanting. They're wanting to be able to practice more and cut their expenses back. So that's the reason the money's so important to everybody. Yeah, the bragging rights are fantastic, but the money, you got to have that financial support to be able to come and practice a week and then come and fish a week. Hey, we got one on right here. Got one on, a good one. A good one. That's a good one. Now that's what you want, guys. That's what you want, right there.
Chad Maupin and Barry Morrow have a limit in the boat, but have struggled to find the big crappie today.
Not that big. All right, clear.
About a 90 probably.
Time expires on day one. The teams head to weigh in with anticipation of seeing big weights. Paul Alpers and Clint Hibden take an early lead.
All right, got a good 7 today? Pretty good. And you do, you're gonna be right in the hunt of things too today. 10:06.
B&M Angler Team of the Year contenders Kent Watson and Matthew Outlaw step to the scales.
Or as the local traveling group calls you, Digger and Matthew. Now here's a solid string, folks. 10:30. You're stepping up way above it so far. What's going through your mind right now?
That's a lot more better than I thought we could do.
You know, I think every tournament we've stopped at, you've said, is all a lot better than I thought we were going to do.
And right behind them is Tim Blackley and Jackie Van Cleve.
Now hold on, everybody. Check this out. 10:29, 1/100th underneath the luge right now.
There
but
we
hey,
go, man. Love,
yep, you got to show it because you guys know we've talked about this. This points race ring of the year. Not only, I mean, geez, look at this. You're at Truman Lake and you guys first time here, right?
Ronnie Capps and Steve Coleman bring their 7 fish to the scales.
He says, there it is. And is it?
Well, we'll see.
Oh, heck yeah. Look at this. 10:57. You took right into the first place. You know, we've seen Watson and Blackley, the top of you 3 guys, all in that points chase, and you guys are not leaving anything out there.
Charlie and Travis Bunting take a swing at the lead, but fall short. David Cox and Steve Hockett approach the scales.
Heck yeah, it was. You're going to step right up there. 10:74, our new leaders.
But it is Jim Dant and Don Zufall that wows the crowd.
Just check this out. See, they didn't jump up there. 10:91. Right now, you guys are in the lead. Bobby Garland sponsored baits.
Dant and Zufall take a narrow lead over the rest of the field. The top 10 is separated by less than a pound, setting up a battle for Championship Saturday on the American Crappie Trail from Truman Reservoir.